You're listening to The Insider, the official podcast for the City of Murfreesboro. I'm Mike Browning. Our guest today is Nate Williams, Executive Director of Recreation Services for the City of Murfreesboro. Good to have you with us.
Thanks, Mike. I always enjoy getting on to talk about all the things that are Parks and Rec related.
And it's exciting because it's something that everybody enjoys. They get to go out and enjoy recreation and the beauty of Murfreesboro in many places.
You know, we're lucky to have a very robust park system. We're really lucky to have just the best staff you could ever ask for to continue to add things, continue to be innovative, and provide as much as we can for the visitors of Murfreesboro and the residents of Murfreesboro.
And you know, a lot of people should take more advantage of it, really. I mean, there are some people who are your loyal clients who go out on a regular basis and take advantage of it. But there are some who, like myself, maybe for years never got on the Greenway and took walks. And in the last couple of years I have, and I'm really appreciating the beauty of it.
You know, it's unique you say that. So first of all, the Greenway is probably our most popular amenity. We've got 20 miles now. And it's something that people utilize every day in unique ways. But one of the things that has really made our park system explode is right after or during COVID, people had to just get outside. So they used the Greenway, and that really opened the door to all the things that Parks has to offer. And I think that's the way people really started seeing the opportunities that were there.
The big reason we're here is to discuss a new park for the City of Murfreesboro. We already have an award-winning park system, but we're going to add another one. So you have to be excited about that.
We're always excited. We have some great support from our council and a charge to continually enhance everything we do. And part of that is the long-awaited Veterans Park. It's on Veterans Parkway. This is over $16.5 million investment into a piece of property that's over 150 acres that we've spent some time planning, and we're really excited about the final result, and we have a contract ready to go. And we'll be moving dirt soon to hopefully get that park open as soon as we can.
Moving dirt. So the operative question that everyone wants to ask is, when will that be?
Yeah, so after council approves it, there's a process of making the final contract get approved, then you give the notice to proceed. So we're not exactly sure, but I think by sometime in April, we'll be moving dirt, and we'll be doing a groundbreaking, and really excited to see that project start to move forward.
You said notice to proceed, so for maybe someone who's listening or watching here that doesn't know what that means, what are you referring to?
So that's when all the contracts are executed, and we give the contract to the contractor, who can then go ahead and start ordering materials, ordering, for this instance, ordering the playground, that type of thing. So they might have a long lead time, so they can go ahead and start ordering that, and then mobilizing and starting the grading process. I think the first thing people will see on that site is a lot of dirt moving to get the grade right for it. And like I said, we couldn't be more pleased with the final product. I think it's going to be something Murfreesboro is going to be really proud of.
Who is the contractor, and why was that company chosen?
Yeah, so they were the low bidder, best qualified low bidder. They came in at a good price, something we were really pleasantly surprised at just a little bit. We thought it was going to be a little bit higher, so there's some cost savings there, so we're moving forward with it. It's Moody Excavating is the contractor.
So excavating, almost implies moving dirt in a way, right?
And we thought that might be the case from the very beginning, that there's so much dirt work that they can sub out some of the park elements. From what we've seen so far, we're excited to get the process started.
Park elements, what are some of the features?
Yeah, so something I think people are going to be proud of, a lot of green space, and really comprehensive network of trails. We'll have 4 pavilions. We'll have 8 pickleball courts, an event space that we can host all kinds of stuff at, and then a destination playground. And I think we can share the renderings. We try to do that as much as possible, but it's something everybody's going to be excited, I think, to take their kids of all ages to.
What is a destination playground?
A destination playground would be something similar to the Miracle Field Playground or Kids Castle, something that people will drive across town to take their kids to the playground, as compared to something like the Case and Trail Playground. It's an accessory, but usually you're going there to do for a walk on the Greenway or a bike ride, and then using the playground too. So this playground will be our biggest playground that we have in the park system. And it's going to be a unique playground. It's a compound product, which we don't have in the park system. And, we've worked really hard with our designer to come up with something. Something I'm excited about is that we're using the angles of the land, the natural curvature to, go alongside the playground. So there'll be some unique play features I think everybody's going to be really pleasantly surprised with.
I have noticed when you drive by there that there are a lot of hills.
Yeah.
So you're saying you're going to use some of those hills and incorporate a part of the feature, I guess?
Yeah, some of that, but I mean, maybe not what's existing there. They'll be regraded to incorporate natural swells around the playground.
In addition to the playground, you mentioned event space. So what are you hoping to achieve with that?
We need space in our park system. We need a lot of things that we're always working towards. Including with our park amenities. But something that we really don't have is a designated event space where we can host concerts and stuff like that pretty easily. So it'll be a space where we'll be able to host festivals. We'll be able to rent out for people to be able to host events. We don't have tremendous space for that as it is now, but it's designed for that type of thing. So one of the pavilions, the pavilion that backs up to it, serves as a pavilion, but has the wiring and everything you need to be able to make it into a stage that kind of overlooks that event space. So it'll be a covered area and more of a multi-use, but I think it's something we're going to be able to bring some really cool stuff to Murfreesboro.
So on the event space, you mentioned that it's something that is really needed or that you would like to utilize more, I guess, for concerts. So you're able to tap into electricity or some other things that you can't do now.
Yeah, like I said, the pavilion will serve as a stage too, so we'll be able to use that as a pavilion during the day. Then on a Friday or Saturday night, we can have it as a covered stage where you can, hook up sound system, PA systems, and then there's also a big field where you can put food trucks. You can put, large numbers of people to be there for whatever type of event that is. So our cultural arts team is already looking at how we can program that and bring some really fun things to the community. I think Murfreesboro residents will really enjoy.
Another popular amenity that was mentioned as you announced this was pickleball courts. So I'm wondering, are they going to be similar to the ones at Old Fort Park?
Well, I mean, in that they're pickleball courts, yes, but they're going to be designed a little bit differently. There's 4 sections, 2 courts each, that are relatively close together. So yeah, we'll have 8 courts, and that's something we've been working. There's a need for just community pickleball courts, so we thought this was a good space to be able to put some in.
I'm curious, the pickleball courts at Old Fort Park, and I guess what you will have in the future there at Veterans Park, do people have to sign up for those or register?
No, that's been our purpose right now. We need more just community pickleball courts. So they're all first come, first serve. They're all lit, so people will be able to come out and use them, throughout the day and into the evening. But it's just first come, first serve. Once we get these courts online, we might do some more types of tournaments or potentially renting some at certain times. But for the most part, they're going to remain open, just first come, first serve use at the park.
You already mentioned pavilions, but 4 pavilions are mentioned as part of the park. What will those be utilized for?
Yeah, so we can use them for programming. There's one specific that comes off of the Cloister Drive area off of Veterans, and it's kind of a standalone entrance that ends with a small parking lot and then a pavilion. So we'll be able to use that. It's right next to the river, so we'll be able to use that space to do some outdoor education throughout the week. But for the most part, they'll just be available for rentals. Our pavilions pretty much get 100% rented every single year. It's one of our most popular things that people use our park system for in good seasons. So they'll be able to rent those and, have family picnics, birthday parties, that type of thing.
So there is a body of water that runs through there, Overall Creek, I guess it is. Are there future plans for trying to utilize that or incorporate that within it?
There is. Our Greenway, Blueway Bikeway Master Plan shows that body of water could at some point be a Greenway connector, and that's not anything in the near future. It's not
It's gonna take
funded.
a
We're
long
looking, a long way out. So, that standalone pavilion was designed, so once the Greenway does make its way out there eventually, and like I said, there's no timeline for that, but that would serve as a trailhead for that connector.
That's awesome. That's something to look forward to anyway
Yeah,
in
it's something
the
just
future.
planning ahead, be it 10, 20 years ahead, that we will have a trail that head there at some point.
The council in February, approved this construction contract that will begin with, in earnest, the actual turning of dirt in April, as you said. What are some of the biggest expenses? Because, everything is expensive these days, it seems like, when it comes to construction, but when it comes to that $16 million,
Yeah.
What is it that you're mainly paying for?
With this park, it's a lot of grading, like we've said, and there's some amenities, like the playground itself is over $1 million. It's a very, big, nice playground. Outside of that, you can imagine that the pavilions, each one has an expense. The trail system has an expense, all the electrical throughout. But also, you have to think of this property as more of a development project. Getting water, sewer, electrical, everything that you need to takes a lot of money, all those utilities to get to the park, to serve the park, and for potential future uses that might coincide on that property. So it's really developing that from the ground up, and there's a lot of infrastructure that has to take place to make that happen for future use as well.
It's interesting. A lot of people see what they see on the surface. They don't realize how much goes underground
Yeah.
in order to supply the needs that are there for for something like that to exist, whether it be drainage or whatever, you know.
Yeah, you could run the numbers and you could say, you know, at least probably a quarter of this project is underground utilities, getting everything ran to be able to serve, like I said, the park as it's going to be built. And we're excited that this isn't a phased park. We have the opportunity to build the park in full. But potentially there could be other city services on that site that we'll be able to use what we're doing now, and, you know, because inevitably it'll cost more in the future to do it, be able to save money now for future use.
I know a lot of residents are excited about the walking trails, and I read somewhere where there are different surfaces.
Yeah, so there's more natural surfaces. We've got paved surfaces. It'll be a place, a lot of people, especially the neighborhoods around, they'll have a great place to get out and just enjoy some open space and just get out and enjoy walking on the different types of paths that we have.
Do you expect that to be mainly for walking, or will some people run the trails?
I think it'll be a mix of both. It's just like you see on our greenway system. It just all kind of coalesces really well together. But I think it's designed to be a great running path or walking path. And I think there's going to be some good light that people will be able to use it into the evening as well.
One other thing we should probably talk about, because I saw some of the earlier designs, and I don't know if that's true of the final design, but it appeared as though, from a flora and fauna standpoint, that you were looking at ways in which either some of the natural habitat from this area would be incorporated, or maybe something from somewhere else. It almost seemed like I saw prairie grass in what was really envisioned, or what is envisioned for that.
You know, we're fortunate. We have a natural resources team that works in the park system who do just a tremendous job, you know, making sure that we're doing the best we can to manage our park space the best way for our environment here in Murfreesboro. So yeah, this was designed with the intent of using native plants to be able to show what native plants can grow really well here in Murfreesboro. And our team will take care of that and continually add to that over the lifespan of the park.
And then that can become even part of an education system where you share with kids what grows.
Yeah, an education or a demonstration area is something we like to think of that, you know, you can beautify with really native plants, and something we're really excited about.
Now, there are some other projects that you're involved in, not just the West Murfreesboro Veterans Park, but at Patterson Park and at Old Fort Park.
Yeah, we're the same night that the council approved Veterans Park, we got approved to start the Patterson Park outdoor improvements, which is, I'm sure most people have been to Patterson. It's a place that's heavily utilized. It's really underserved for the parking. We needed more parking, and our existing parking, because of the usage, really needed some love and attention. So our outdoor improvements there will start about the same time in the spring, and we're going to add some parking. We're going to renovate our existing parking area and the access that has a lot of cracking and potholes. But we're also going to add a new playground and splash pad between Patterson Park Community Center and then Bradley Academy.
Splash pads, so those are the kinds that a lot of kids like to run around with water features.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We don't have anything like that in Murfreesboro, but we thought it was just a great place to be able to have an amenity like that in Murfreesboro. And like you said, Old Fort Park, I know most people have driven past Old Fort Park. And Old Fort Park has really gotten a facelift. It was built in the 1970s, and it was really, I always say, it's one of our capstone parks because it really showed the first real investment to a large park system in Murfreesboro. And it's a place that's heavily utilized from Greenway users or Kids Castle users or Adams Tennis Complex. But we just finished up several renovation or addition projects out there. So we just renovated the original 8 tennis courts and now have 6 tennis and 6 pickleball courts. We also did a golf course renovation that finished up last year. And then we added the new skate park, which is just immensely popular. So it's all the great, you know, renovations or amenities. And the last thing that we're doing there is we're renovating the original ball field out there. So if you drive down Old Fort Parkway, you see those old wooden poles and just a field that has fencing from, you know, the 70s and 80s. And we needed to correct some of those issues, make it a better space that can be more utilized. But we're also addressing some of our stormwater concerns there. If you've seen it after a rain event, it's very wet. Water stands in that parking lot for, you know, days up to weeks after. So with stormwater considerations, we worked with that team to lift that site just a little bit, put in some type of system that'll let the water drain, and then the field will have new lighting, new fencing, and then a synthetic turf surface.
So the new fencing, so what's there now is a lot like what you described that I remembered as a kid playing baseball in the 70s. I mean, it looks like fencing from the 70s. How will it be different?
It'll be different. It'll be a different type, a higher gauge fencing, more modern to what we're using in ball fields now. So I think it's something everybody's going to be really proud of, and we'll be able to use it and rent it out and maximize the usage of that field throughout the course of the year without worrying about, you know, maintaining playability that really happens with a natural surface.
Well, the Parks Department does such a wonderful job of adding features and improving what we already have, like you said, at Old Fort Park, and then the Greenway, a beautiful place to enjoy, nature right in the downtown area,
Right.
which more people do need to take advantage of that.
Yeah, we're fortunate. Again, we have a robust park system that I'm proud of, and the people I get to work with every day to make these spaces just vibrant and a place that people want to bring their families to. And when they're relocating to Murfreesboro, I'm proud that a lot of people look at the park system and think that's something that they'd like to be involved with.
It takes a big team to do that because you have programs that you implement on a constant basis, and then you have to maintain the facility, so you have maintenance people are constantly working. How big is your team?
We've got a large team. We've got over 400 people that work in Parks and Recreation. And it's, like I said, they're some of the best, most dedicated individuals you would ever meet. And we're glad to do what we do.
Well, congratulations on what you do and the awards you all win every year. Good work, and thanks for your service to our community.
Thank you, Mike.
Nate Williams has been our guest. He is the Executive Director of Recreation Services for the City of Murfreesboro. Just a reminder, the city's secure website for filling out the census is still available at murfreesborocensus.com. If you have any questions, you can call 615-893-5210, but we do need you to fill out the census for Murfreesboro's growing system of people, and we need to make sure that we have the full amount of money and funding from the state in order to implement some of the beautiful programs that we do here in Murfreesboro. We've been discussing the new park, Veterans Park on the west side of Murfreesboro with Nate Williams. This podcast originated, as always does, from City Hall. For more information on the City of Murfreesboro, it's murfreesborotn.gov. The Insider is the official podcast for the City of Murfreesboro. I'm Mike Browning. Thanks for joining us.